Overflows.
Synchronicity, the way universe connects. The secret of change is to focus all your energies not on fighting the old but on building the new, says Socrates. Synchronicity is the mysterious connection between inner thoughts and external events. Synchronicity is the way universe, the macro, as a whole connects to the micro. Love and trust are ways to grow and deepen synchronicity as a bond for transformation. Two hearts operating at the same wavelength, or two stringed musical instruments tuned, begins to vibrate the same tune when one is played. Know this as the essence of synchronicity. Synchronicity is the ultimate in the journey of love. When master and disciple begins to operate at the same wavelength, or waving spouses waving at the same wavelength, journey begins with sex growing roots. Roots grow into love as stems and foliage, thus continues the journey of love. And finally, two hearts, micro and macro, or male and female, vibrate at one wavelength. I am drunk, drunk with love as pristine wine. This elixir is nectar and essence of synchronicity. Live through love, live as love, and your life will have a beauty, a blessing, a fragrance surrounding it. Drop logic and revive your love. Die to logic and be born as love. Of course, to be in love is, to be in love in this insane world will make you look as if you are mad, because the people you are surrounded with all live in a very calculated way. To them, you will look mad. Love is the pristine elixir that I am drunk with, and now overflows in myriad ways. But those who understand, and of course, there are very few people in the whole world who understand. For them, you will be a sane person, because for them, the whole humanity is insane. And the criteria is, if your life is miserable, then it is insane. If your life is a rejoicing, then it is sane. Then it is wholesome. When it is healthy, then you have found something in which you can rejoice. Let your music, the pristine elixir, be born out of your abundant love, for no other reason, for sheer joy, just the way fragrance comes from flowers. It is not for sale. That is what makes the difference. One can be a great technician of love and music. Once you have learned the whole technique, there will be no flaw in your music or love, but heart will remain empty. You will not know the ecstasy that brews pristine elixir of bliss. You will remain without that subtle experience, that being. This comes only when you are touched by the divine. This touch by the divine is synchronicity. After this, you are absolutely mad, drunk with the divine, and the music that life will play as love is not through any effort, but something is spontaneously coming out of you. That is why we cannot demand it. Certainly, we can remain aware and fully conscious about it. Synchronicities are indications of the presence of a higher spiritual consciousness in the cosmos, an invitation to trust the flow of life, to pay attention to signs of what the universe is trying to communicate. Listen to your intuition. Do not dismiss those moments as unwanted or take them mere accidental. These may be deepest self speaking to you. Synchronicity is the reflection of your being. The more you are in tune with existence, the more the universe reveals itself to you in myriad forms as visions, intuitions, etc. Whether you view synchronicity as psychological phenomena or spiritual or awakening will not matter. But one thing is clear, that it holds the power to connect us to something greater, to a deeper meaning in the universe and its phenomena. Carl Jung's Carl Jung introduced the word synchronicity in his groundbreaking theory of synchronicity. Synchronicity was viewed by Carl purely as psychological standpoint. In reality, psychology presents the meeting ground for deeper universal patterns or various dimensions. Jung viewed synchronicity as a window into the collective unconsciousness and a guide towards personal growth, while Osho saw it as natural reflection of awareness and living in harmony with existence. Do these great minds agree, or do their perspective diverge? One thing is certain, if you look into your life deeply, you will discover how mysteriously existence has played its part in your life in myriad ways. This phenomena explains how synchronicity played its part in your life. Synchronicity as a concept was introduced by analytical psychiatrist Carl Jung to describe events that coincide in time and appear meaningfully related, yet lack a discoverable causal connection. Jung held this Jung held this was a healthy function of the mind that can become harmful within psychosis. Jung developed the theory as a hypothetical non-causal principle serving as the intersubjective or psychologically objective connection between seemingly meaningful coincidences. After coming to terms in late 1920s, Jung developed the concept with physicist Wolfgang through correspondence and in their 1952 work. Once Carl Jung was attending to a patient as she was narrating her dream to him. Jung rose and drew back the curtains, and through the open window into the room flew a large gold green beetle. The client, who he said had a very rational mind, has doubted the existence of the unconscious, but the shock of this experience was so strongly transformative for her that she became a solid believer in the unconscious realms, and her trust was strengthened in Jung's therapy. Jung finally published the results of his research in 1955 in Synchronicity and a causal connecting principle. Here he describes it as a cause of two events having a similar meaning, one physical and one mental, because the patient has dreamed of the beetle. And now, while she was in the clinic of Carl Jung, and as the window was open, the gold green color beetle flew in. So it is here he described it as a case of two events having similar meaning, one physical and one mental, coinciding or following each other within a short space of time. He cites as an example the story of his client relating her dream vision of beetle that coincided with the event of a physical beetle flying into the room. He then went on to say that synchronicities could also be experienced as clusters of rare outer events with the same theme. Today, Jung's work on synchronicity is recognized as an important paradigm buster with the old belief that everything happening in the world around us must have a material cause being questioned. Experiences of synchronicity show that physical and psychological events can be linked causally, a fact that points to the oneness of body and soul and to a unity between the visible physical world and invisible collective psyche. We are not living in a cold, mechanical, and random universe after all. Rather, the comforting conclusions we draw is that synchronicities are indications of the presence of a higher spiritual connection in the cosmos. With this, I will take the spiritual aspect of synchronicity in tomorrow's session. Enough for now.